This month, Rajab, is also the month that the Prophet made his Isra Miraj and brought so many things back to humanity. But those are all kept in secret. They are hidden in the hearts of people, because we are not yet showing that we deserve those inheritance. We are suffering. We're looking to our employers, we're looking to our president, we're looking to our mayor, our governor, our alderman. We're looking to people for our sustenance, when Allah Almighty has sent us here with our sustenance, our treasures. But we're so busy acting like houseflies that we cannot receive that we are in need of. And that's why the Prophet, peace be upon him, that mercy that dwelled in the heart of the Prophet, peace be upon him, it was like you get more flies with honey than with vinegar. And our leaders becoming influential in the society, we have taken on this mentality that we beat people down. We try to beat them in submission. You can't beat anyone in submission. You cannot make anybody do anything. The Prophet, peace be upon him, his success was when he came into a place, he was able to break down the walls of their hearts, open up their hearts so that the love of Allah Almighty that was placed in them could come out of them. When you go to someone's home, they have the authority to tell us to ask us to stay or to leave. We can't override their authority by telling them what to do in their own house. Allah Almighty says, the heart of the believer is the house of Allah Almighty. We are in the house of Allah Almighty, telling Allah Almighty what to do. There was a time when the Prophet, peace be upon him, he had Bilal radiallahu anhu to call the adhan about midnight. And all the Sahabas were very, very afraid, because they thought that beloved Muhammad was going to say we had another war. They had just come from a war, and they were afraid that they would have to go to another war. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, came out to them, and he was trembling and he was shaking. And he said that Angel Jibril had just brought a revelation to him, and he had never heard anything so heavy and so troubling in his life. He said, if anyone 2 hours ago is bringing the faults and spreading the faults of someone through the community, Allah Almighty is going to put them in a bad, severe place, and they will have a severe punishment. But we're doing it all the time. We're doing it all the time. We're destroying our families. We're destroying our communities. We're destroying the nation of beloved Muhammad ﷺ with our tongue. When Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he heard this, he put a stone in his mouth, until Allah Almighty sent a revelation to tell Abu Bakr Siddiq to take the stone out of his mouth. So he was asked how long he had that stone in his mouth. He had had that stone in his mouth for 7 years. They were asking him, why did you have that stone in your mouth for 7 years? He said, when I heard the prophet say that your tongue can put you in hell, spreading the bad behavior of someone else, he became frightened. He didn't want to talk. If talking is silver, then silence is golden. We don't mind our own business. If you have a goal, if you have a means for a plot for your goal, and you're digging for gold, if you're so busy looking at what else somebody else is doing over there, did they more gold than me. Or they got more gold than me, and they shouldn't have got more gold than me. They're cheating, they're doing something they shouldn't do. And how are they going to get that more than me? Then you are not mining your own gold. You're not going to reach to that gold you have to dig. We're not minding our own business. Look after our own faults. It's a good feeling to work on ourselves, to work on our weaknesses. You feel better about yourself than neglecting the things that we should do for ourselves. It's only when we're not doing the things we need to do for ourselves that we start to look at other people to see who is worse off than we are, to give a false feeling of security about ourselves and progress. As long as we're not progressing, we're not going to be happy. You think it's enough to go into a mosque, put on your garb? You think it's enough to go to a church and you give your praises and pay your tithes? You think it's enough to go to a synagogue and just go and praise, give your praise? Allah says, don't you say you believe without being tested. It is our personal day-to-day behavior, how we interact with ourselves and other people, that determines how the deen of Allah Almighty is working in our lives, how we are progressing and feeling happy and good about ourselves. That's very important. How come there's not the nation of Muhammad established in the way that the Prophet, peace be upon him, established it? The whole nation of Muhammad, east to west, north to south, are talking about everybody else. They're quarreling about things that are petty to themselves, minding everybody else's business but their own. Everybody is looking somewhere else other than themselves. That's why Isa ibn Maryam says he was free of sin. Throw the first stone. Everybody lives in a glass house. We are all sinners. So we have to deal with that part of us that's a weakness. But those sins are doors for our greatness. How can we represent Allah Almighty if we're not minding our own camps? We're not minding our own business. We're not developing ourselves. Before we can establish Islam and bring Islam to anyone else, we must empower ourselves. We're not empowering ourselves. We're so busy looking at what someone else had. He said, she said. That destroys the family. That destroys the community. That destroys the nation. Oh, guess what the latest is? What I heard the latest is. Gossiping all doggone day long about nonsense. Haven't even done nothing to yourself, nothing in your home, nothing with the children, nothing in the community, nothing in the nation. But we got time to be talking about what somebody is doing and what they're not doing. That's not discipline. We've lost our discipline. And that's the reason Shaitan has power over us. Shaitan does not have power over those disciplined servants that are remembering their Lord and their Lord is remembering them. They are diligently working on their minds, their bodies, their soul, then the society, everything that society needs. They're working on themselves so they can bring something to the table. They're not just coming to the table and say, well, who cooked this? Who cooked that? I don't like the way that, and we haven't brought anything. And we're complaining and criticizing someone else, and we have not brought anything to the table. This is an illness of the modern society, which is still the nation of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah Almighty is still holding us responsible. We're still held accountable for ourselves, our behavior.